Hello, my name is Mick Pletcher and I'm here today to show you how to edit an MSI file using the old-fashioned ORCA. Now, I understand it is a very intimidating item to edit at first when you're first getting started with MSI files, but overall it is not hard to do. So to get started here, you're going to use here WorkShare Professional. It's a application that I use at the law firm that our attorneys use to go through and compare documents. So I think this is a pretty good app to use to show you how we customize. So first thing is, I have to pull this up by command line because we don't have local administrative privileges on our machine, so therefore that's why I'm running this from the command line prompt. Alright, so I've just ran the MSI installer, and as you can see, so we don't have it set where it can automatically accept, and you have to click this to accept it first. So let me show you the first thing on how to edit this to be able to get that box, that button to say I accept. So we're going to cancel out, and we're going to go into the MSI, right click, we're going to edit with ORCA. Now ORCA is available on the Microsoft site. Just go to Google ORCA space MSI, and you'll easily find that. Alright, so we're looking for the checkbox. Now one of your most important areas to look at is the property field here. And what we're looking at for the license is, and this is typical on almost all MSIs, it's going to say agree to license. And as you can see, it says no right now. All we have to do is change that to yes. Now before I change this, we're going to come back out and I'm going to show you one very important thing you need to do first before you ever do this. Make a copy of your MSI. Make a backup copy before you ever make changes to it, because it is easy to start editing an MSI and then all of a sudden, oh, I forgot. What did I just change? Well, at least you've got a backup there. Now there's another way you can do an MSI. You can actually create an MST file. Personally, I don't use that. I make direct edits to the MSI. The difference is an MST, when using ORCA, you make all your changes and it writes it to that, and then when you run your MSI at a command line, you call the MST file and it applies all those changes that you made. The reason I don't use MST files is if our help desk needs to go in and do a manual reinstall of an application, they're probably going to forget to use the MST. Doing it this way, all they have to do is run the MSI and next, and finish, and they're done. So that's the main reason I don't use an MST file. So let's go back in. So we're going to right click, well actually we're going to run it from the command line, as I said earlier, because of my privileges on the machine. So we're going to go in here, we see that says I do not accept. We're going to go back in, we're going to come back in and edit the file. So we're going to right click, edit with ORCA, maximize this, come down to the property field. You can click on these fields here and it will sort them for you. Agree to license says no. I'm going to double click that and change that to yes. Then we're going to save it and close it out. Now one thing you have to learn about ORCA also is you have to close ORCA out. If you try to run your MSI and ORCA has that MSI open, it will not execute. So now we're going to re-execute that. Now one thing you may be seeing here and noticed is, not only do I have my MSI exec and then the MSI file, but I have a /LVX and this. What LVX does is that creates a log file, a verbose log file for it, and I'm writing it to this location at install.log. And I'm going to get a little further on why that you should do that when you're editing your MSI. That's a critical part of this process. So we're going to hit next, and there you go. I accept the terms of this agreement is checked or selected, and next. Alright, destination folder. So we've got install WorkShare Professional 2 and There's our directory. Well, let's say we want to change that. I have no idea what I'm looking for in ORCA on what to change to make this different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit change. I'm going to come down here and select this. I'm going to copy it. We're going to cancel out. Now we're going to cancel this. Yes, and finish. Now, that log file is where this comes into play. So we're going to open that log file I'm writing it to. As we can see, it's red because I canceled it. So we're going to come up here to the top, and we're going to do a Control F. And as you can see, I'd already pasted it in here, getting ready for the video. We're going to paste that in there, that directory we're searching for, and we're going to hit find. Alright, there you go. That's what it's storing, or that's what it's calling up, is install dir. That's the property that contains this C program files x86 workshare modules directory. So now we know, let's go in here and we can make install directory. We want to specify some other location. So we can close this file out. Now that's why that log file is so important when you're doing this editing process, as you could see right there, what I used. So we're going to come back into the Workshare Professional MSI. We're going to edit with ORCA. And we're going to go to the property field. New items that you want to put in here. Now, as you can see, I've sorted by property, and it doesn't exist. Install dir doesn't. So new items that you want to add and customize, you're going to put them in here in the property field. So all it requires is you're going to right click in here, click add row, and we're going to type it in all caps, I remember, install dir. And we're going to go to, let's just say C:\program files \. We're let's say Workshare. We're going to hit OK. And there you go. It just added that field in there. Now we're going to hit save. Close this out. We're going to run the MSI again. Pull this over. And hit next. It's already accepted as we said earlier. And it didn't change it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to come back in here. We're going to re-edit. We're going to come back down here into the property field. And now let's rerun it. And there you go. You can see it changed it. Now, one thing that you noticed was I only put C program files in there, but because it automatically detected this is a it's a 32-bit app running on a 64-bit OS, it automatically put it in C program files x86. Which is one thing I slipped up on. I forgot about it automatically having that capability here. So there you go. Now you can see where it changed to just C program files x86. Now we're going to hit next. So now we've got our different fields here we want to check. Now my firm uses compare and we use net documents. So we need to make sure those two boxes get checked. So we're going to cancel back out of this. And we're going to hit finish. Now we're going to go back in here. We're going to right click. We're going to edit with ORCA. Okay, now before we get back to this, I want to go through some other critical parts of using this ORCA. One of your other very important areas to know about is the control table. You click on the control table. That has a great number of variables that actually you can add to the property field stored in this one. So you want to go there, then you want to click on the property, and that's going to sort all these by the property field. scroll all the way to the bottom, and there you go. Like for instance, your agree to license, that's right there. So this is an easy area to come into to find some of your pertinent variables. Okay, so net document selection. There's one of them right there that I need. I see it's a checkbox. All right, because it's a checkbox, come in here, and there it is. Now that's not what we need to change. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in here and we're going to copy this. We're going to come up here and we're going to go to find. We're going to paste that in there. We're actually looking for a different variable than net document selection. So we're going to next, and this is going to take a few searches in here. That's still not what we're looking for. And that's not. Here we go. Okay, we're in the control event field, which is the right place to be. And here we are. Net document selection. There's the condition we're looking for right there. That's the variable we need to change right there. So internal net documents. So what we're going to do is we're going to highlight this. We're going to do a Control C. We're going to come down to the property field. And we're going to resort this. And as you see, it does not exist in here. So we're going to right click, go to add row. We're going to put that in there. And then we know, of course, 0 means don't display it. 1 means display it. The typical binary values. We're going to put a 1 in there. And there's internal net documents. We're going to save this. We're going to close it out. And now we're going to rerun it. Okay, so we're going to do next. We see it's accepted. We see it used the custom program files field. And there you go, net documents is now checked off. But we can't do next because now it needs a module. So we know for the firm I work at, we want compare. So we're going to cancel out of that. I'm going to finish. And we're going to go back in here and we're going to right click on this. We're going to go back to edit ORCA. Okay, now we're looking for a different field. We're looking for compare. All right, we know it's a checkbox. We saw that earlier. So we're just going to come back in here in the checkboxes. We're going to sort this. And there it is, compare selection. We know that this is not what we're looking for, so we're going to copy that compare selection. We're going to do a find. We're going to paste that, and we're going to start searching. Alright, so this is one of the critical areas I was showing you about earlier, the property field. We know that's not there. That when you come in here and we saw that compare selection, that told us over here what it was. That it was actually a checkbox. So we're going to search again. We know this isn't it. And this isn't it because these are not. And here we go. Alright, we're in the control event. There's the compare selection, and here's the condition. That's what you're looking for. Now we know it's called internal underscore compare. We're going to select this. We're going to copy that. Cancel out of here. We're going to go to the property field. We're going to right click, add row. This is properties automatically selected. We're going to paste that in there. And then like I said on the last one, it's a binary 0, 1 on-off value. We're going to put a 1. And we're going to save that. Now you can see both these are there, turning those on. And we've also made the change to agree to license. And we're going to close this. And we're going to rerun it. And we're going to do next, accept. That's right, what we changed it to. And there you go. Both of those are checked now. Now the next is lit up. And it would be the same thing right here. We would just go in there and look for Outlook or Microsoft Word. Let's cancel out. I'm going to finish. My firm doesn't actually use those, so really I'm done with this editing this one, but we're going to go back in here and take a look. And I'm going to show you here in a second. So, all right, we've got the MSI open in ORCA. Now let's try to run it. Well, and when I tried to run it, that's the error message I get because ORCA has it open. So as you can see, you've got to watch out. You will get that error if you try to run the MSI while ORCA has it open. Okay, so we knew we're going to go back in here and we're going to go back to the control field. We're going to sort by property. Scroll down. All right, and we're going to look in here. There's Excel integration. Here's Outlook integration. As you can see, it's another checkbox. We're going to come in here, and if we're going to go to Outlook integration, then I'm going to copy this. We're going to do a Control C, and here's one thing I typically do. I come all the way up to the action text, which is the very top, and then I do a single click here. That way I know it starts searching from the very top and searches down. So we're going to do a Control F. We're going to paste that in there. I'm going to find the next one, and as there you can see, it's in the Outlook the checkbox, and there it is in the typical control property field. And here you go. Outlook integration selection. It's under the control event, and there is internal underscore Outlook underscore integration. All I would have to do is copy that and give that a value, or create it in the property field, give that a value of 1, and it would check it off in there. That's literally how easy it is to edit an MSI file. It's not a hard process. I know it seems very difficult the first time you do it. Believe me, it took me a long time to get this stuff down when I first started using these. Now, some other things that you might want to know about using ORCA. Let's say you want the good on the product code. Well, you can come in here, and that's one of the pertinent things that you need. Let's say you're setting up an SCCM package and you want SCCM to be able to validate that this application got installed by checking for the product code. Well, that's how you can find it. You can open it up, go to property field, go to product code, and there it is right there. You can copy it straight from that and paste it into the MSI. That's really all that's to doing this. It's not a hard concept. Some do get a little more difficult. One thing, and I am actually working on a PowerShell script to automate this. Another thing that you can do here, and that's a vital part of setting this up, is this log file right here that I set up from the command line prompt. So using the /lvx and then the location / install.log, that creates this log file for me. Now that's a bad one. Let me rerun this here so I can show you a much better log and give you some tips and hints on using the logs. So as you see, that's it, and if I just hit next, it would start to install, which I already have installed on my machine. So as you can see now, when I'm running it, it says next, next, next. So if a help desk person needs to go in and actually install this, it's no problem for them. Alright, so we're going to cancel back out of that. Yes. And now let's open the log. As you can see, it just flipped over to 247K. We're going to open the log up. Okay, now it's a fairly good size file. Alright, reading these logs. Getting back to the PowerShell script, I'm writing a PowerShell script which I have one written, and I published it a while back, but it's kind of clumsy, and I want it to be a lot more. Well, to be honest with you, it was kind of difficult figuring out how the script should work to enter all your values, that it could grab all these keys, the properties out to be able to report to you, give you a report on specific properties you set to easily customize this. So let me show you one thing here. So as you saw there were some of the like the internal. So let me item that we made a change to. So we're going to search for internal, And what you're going to look for is items called property change. And we're going to do an F3. Here you go. Like Hummingbird, if a law firm uses that. We don't use it anymore. Let's see here. Here's Outlook integration. It added a property of 0, which means no Outlook integration. So you can actually go in here, if you know the variables, you can go in here and see what it sets them to. And this gives you the idea. For instance, the internal Outlook integration, it'll tell you it's setting it to a 0. So you know what kind of a value. You saw earlier on finding, for instance, what I did earlier was I opened this file up. I needed to know, okay, what variable, the install dir, what variable is setting the location of where the application is going to be installed. So as you saw, I copied the C program files x86 workshare out, came in here and searched it, and bam, it brought me right to where that value is, where it sets it. So this is a valuable file. So that's why I say definitely when you're doing this process, make sure you're having it create your install log file on the spot, just as you saw with the way I've done it. So this has very valuable information. And back to the script that I'm writing, what it will do is the script that I'm rewriting actually will go in here. You'll run the script. You place the script in the same directory as the actual MSI that you're trying to customize. You put it in there, and then you execute the PowerShell script. The PowerShell script scans the relative directory that it's running from. For MSI files, if there's only one in there, then it automatically starts executing that file. And what you do is it will open up a text file and a blank notepad. It opens that up, and what you do is you do your next, and then you enter your information that you input. Like for instance, the C:/ program files x86, you would just copy that whole directory, paste it in there, or type in your accept. It would know instantly then, okay, I need to go through. What it's going to do is you're going to run through the whole thing. You're going to paste in the items that you check, or if it's a button box, you type in the exact name of the button box that you selected, save that file, finish up your installation, do next, and so on, whatever changes you need to make, and run the installation. Once it's run, then the PowerShell script sees that the MSI is finished, and then it goes back and uninstalls the application off the machine. Then what it does is when it first executes that MSI, it will create that verbose log file. So all that information you wrote to your notepad, it will go back in, it'll open that log file up, search that log file for that specific information, and then it generates a user-friendly report, and it'll tell you every variable that you need to make a change to in the MSI. I'm working on getting it rewritten. I think I can get it a lot more effective, a lot easier to use. So it's going to be a little while because I've got quite a few projects that's going on simultaneously right now, but I think that would be able to help you a lot. Well, I hope this has helped you, given you an idea of how to actually edit an MSI file using ORCA. I think ORCA is still a great tool to use. You can use other tools, but to be honest, the vast majority of tools are very expensive that I've seen. Most tools that I've looked at is $500 plus, and it rapidly goes up, and some of them run as much as $1,000, $2,000 a year with very high maintenance costs, yearly maintenance costs. So I think it's just as well to learn ORCA and be able to do your modifications here. And I hope this has been a good tutorial for you. And if you have any questions, feel free. I'm on Twitter at Mick_Pletcher. So you can definitely find me on there, and feel free to hit me up. All right. Thank you.